Howdy y'all, Molex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, I am in need of... Oh, crap. A new leg. I'm in need of gunpowder and a new leg. Let's start with a nice cast. Okay. Oh no. You know what I don't see down here? I don't see my bike. Where did I die and leave my bike? Oh, it's so far away. Never mind, we gotta go get my bike. Which would be great with this broke leg. But I also know that I am out of ammo. So, broke leg, no ammo, no bike. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna hoof it. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, man, it's been a few days. Got kind of a messed up end of the week, midweek. Threw off my schedule pretty bad. And, so I didn't get any time to record the second half of the week. I talked about this in a previous video, but I had a package come in, and I had to sign for it. And the problem is that the door is way on the other end of the house, and I'm in the basement. And I don't have I probably should get one, but I don't have one of them fancy video doorbell things that would let me say, "Hey, I'm on my way." Instead, what I get is paper that says, "Hey, we tried to deliver your package and no one was home," kind of thing. So I didn't want to, not get my package. So I decided I would stay upstairs until the package arrived. Problem is it came UPS. I mean, that wasn't the problem. I don't have a problem with UPS. That's not true. I guess I do have a problem with UPS. I have a problem that I don't understand why they can't tell me some kind of window that they're going to deliver my package. I get that they wouldn't want to tell me, like, in case I was going to rob them. I guess I could see that point. But, I mean, you would think that you could let me know a little window gap of a couple of hours maybe during the day. But they weren't doing that. And so instead it said sometime by 7 p.m. And so I sat upstairs from like 10 a.m. Until 6:30 p.m. Waiting for this package to arrive, which just blew my whole day, just completely gone, basically. Because then, knowing what I had to do over the weekend, I had to get my work done. So I wasn't able to record because I had to work from the time the package came until my normal meetup with people that happens on Wednesdays, because I wasn't going to skip out of that. And so then we played Starfinder. Nothing really major happened. I did finally decide to give up on my trick shot during the episode. I'm like, this is it. I fail it. I fail it. I fail it. I'm done. I'm just gonna start shooting my gun because let me point out. I have talked about my trick shot before. how much I hate it in Starfinder. How I don't understand how the one thing that is central to your character is so broken that it never works, because I can't roll high enough 2 rolls in a row to get both the attack and the test, the stealth check to go through. And uh, so every time I go to attack with my operative and I want to use my trig attack, not only do I have to use a special weapon that I don't have bonuses for, but I have to basically succeed on a high skill check. It's always going to be over 20. Uh, and I have to succeed on an attack check that has to beat the opponent's armor. Right? So basically, I have to attack twice every time to get one attack to work. It's a single attack. Meanwhile, the engineer in the group just does what's it called? An overpowered shot. It uses 3 rounds of ammo instead of 1, but basically does double his weapon's damage. There's no rolls for it other than the roll to hit, and then he just does double damage. Like, I'd be fine if it was just the single roll to hit and then do double damage, but no, I have to make 2 separate checks. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm just gonna start shooting with my guns. Uh, Guns might not get extra damage, but at least I can add some dexterity bonus to my attack rolls. So yeah. And we're almost done. I thought we'd finish. This week, but again, it was after 10 before the other guys showed up, and so we've got one more fight to finish Starfinder, and then I don't know if I'm ever gonna want to go back to it. I know some of the other guys have said they've been enjoying it, they've liked the storyline, but I hate it. So I think that if we do attempt it again, I will just reskin it for D&D, which I think is a much better system to play with. And I can just adapt the sci-fi weapons and stuff to D&D, and I feel like I could do that. And they'll just play with D&D classes. They'll just, use Starfinder weapons and armor and spells and stuff. So, yeah. And then, oh, I thought I'd be able to get through here. It clearly is not the case. I thought I'd be able to jump over that wall, and then I got here and there was no way I was jumping over this wall. So then, we have one more fight, and then we'll be through it all. Which probably won't be for a couple of weeks yet. At least 3. Is that right? 3 weeks? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be 3 weeks yet. Because I have nearly finished putting together my one-shot for Halloween that I want to do. And so we'll be doing that this week, I think, provided everybody shows up. And I think it'll be fun. It's a play off of Call of Duty Zombies. And so I was figuring out, I got a map of a mansion, and I've loaded it all up, locked all the doors, and I figured out how many and what kinds of bad guys are going to come out each wave, and stuff like that. I just need to plan which rooms are unlocked by how many points, because I'm going to have the zombies basically will drop a magic gem each time they're killed. Well, it's not just zombies, it's undead in general. So every time they kill one, they'll get a certain number of gems from the zombie, and then they can turn in those gems to unlock doors, and then inside those rooms will be weapons that they can then purchase with the gems as well. And so Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I gotta get some heal potions in there and stuff like that, yeah, as well. But I think that should be kind of fun. Basically, it's they'll start at level 1. They'll start outside the mansion, and they'll work their way into the mansion, and then they'll get attacked by some zombies. They kill the zombies. The next wave comes. They kill those zombies. They get a short rest. Then 2 more waves of zombies, and then a short rest. I think at that point, after 2 waves of zombies, they will be at level 2, and then they'll do a wave of zombies, a wave of zombies, a long rest, a wave of zombies, a wave of zombies, however long it goes, and then they'll eventually be level 3, and then they'll finish as they hit level 4, because I can't imagine we'll even make it that long with what little time we currently play. I have to assume that we'll run out of time before they make it to level 3, but yeah, I think it should be kind of fun. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be awful. I don't know, but it seems it's definitely triggering some Call of Duty Zombies nostalgia in my head. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And then, of course, the week after that, we would play the other guy's campaign. And so it'd be the week after that would eventually be the finale to Starfinder. I've started loading Demon Plague up. Demon Plague Book 2. And so that will be my next campaign. Will be going back to that, because we did a book of Demon Plague, and then I switched to Starfinder because I was really excited about sci-fi tabletop, and then I hated it. So we're going back to Demon Plague. I had a campaign that we were running at one point, but nobody would stick with it. Not because they didn't like it, just because they're lazy, I feel. I don't understand how everybody's like, I don't have time to play. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, what if we did a play-by-post where you just had to check in once a day and read like 4 or 5 Discord messages and then make your choice? And then everybody's like, oh, yeah, I can do that. And then as soon as we do that, they're like, yeah, I didn't take the time to read the messages today, so I didn't read the messages today. Now it's 4 or 5 days has gone by, and there's just too much for me to read to make my choices, so I'm just never going to respond. So maybe I'll bring that campaign back, and we'll just pick up where that left off. And some of the same guys are in it, so we can maybe pick up where those guys were all still in it and start from there. Because I think it was a fun campaign, and I would like to get back to it, honestly. I'd like to see where it goes. Because it's a made by me campaign. And so I think my coal over here was... Oh no, that coal was empty. That coal was fine. Yep. Okay. Because it's a homebrew campaign by me with homebrew items and stuff. And so I never know where it's going to go. I don't even have a general sense of where it's going. A lot of times I have a goal in my head of where I want the campaign to go, but I honestly don't even know where this one's going. I do know that I have some general plans for some of the bad guys who haven't even appeared in the game yet. I have a general understanding, I guess, of some of the bad guys. Um, I guess we could do a very quick rundown of the storyline for that. Basically, what happened was a comet was going to hit Earth because it takes place on a post-apocalyptic Earth. A comet was going to hit Earth, and um, the this group of aliens who were on the run from another alien race showed up, and they tried to stop the comet. And instead, their ship got broken up, and the comet got broken up, and so all of that hit the Earth. And then some of the aliens survived, and the um, nations of the world who were still empowered went to war with each other over control of the aliens. And it descended into a pretty massive nuclear war. Uh, and and so from there, um, all of the resulting stresses um, caused volcanoes to erupt. I was going all out, all the apocalypses all at once, and they using the alien technology. The aliens use like magic isn't a thing. Instead, it's a nano shroud on the planet, and so the aliens had to release their nano shroud on the planet for their technology to work. And so when they did that, wow, you really look like you should be coal, but you're digging up like dirt. Um, so when they did that, um, the humans, of course, tried to backwards engineer the technology for themselves instead of relying on the aliens and their know-how. The aliens are going to be my elves. Or the aliens are my elves, basically. Uh, and um, and so then that went out of control. And so then not only are they on a planet that's been devastated by war over this alien technology, but now they've also unleashed, AI against everything. And so all of that, I think part of that was the nuclear stuff too, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. I have it all written down. Uh, and so there's a group who's trying to wipe out all the AI so that the nanite stuff goes away. That's the bad guy they're fighting now. The problem is that the civilization that they're a part of relies on the different AIs for their powers, and so if the AIs get disrupted, then people lose their technology and their spells, which are technology based, and so they've got to go in and fix one of the AIs is what they're currently trying to do, or they were. Maybe I have to go back and look to see who was playing then, because I moved through multiple different people, because multiple different people were like, yeah, I want to play, and then they're like, oh no, I can't read Discord once a day. Um, and so, uh, I mean, I can understand not reading it every day, but it's like, it's like the one guy was running a play-by-post game, and then he just stopped responding to all our messages. Like, it was his game. We talked to him in person. He's actually the other DM that we play with on Wednesday nights, and he just stopped responding to the Discord messages. And so for, I think, over a year, uh, I think it was a year that I posted like every week asking for him to update us because the last phrase was from him was give me a perception roll, I think is what he said. And so we did our perception rolls, and then he never responded. And so I'd just be like every week, so what did we see? So what did we see? And then it turned into today is 47 days since the last time the DM responded. We talk to the dude every week, so you know, in person, just or well, I guess not in person, but over Discord. Um, in voice chat. I mean, because we meet up in Discord to play every week, pretty much. And so yeah, so we went a whole year without him responding to Discord, to his own Discord. Uh, but yeah, that drives me crazy. Because there's a big difference between meeting in person for an hour or more each week on a specific night. I can understand where, real life might interfere with that occasionally. But I don't think anybody has an excuse that they couldn't check Discord, a couple of times a week when they're just constantly on that kind of stuff. Anyways, yeah. And then this weekend I did a bunch of yard work because it was nice out. I am covered. My head, my neck, my arms, my legs from the knees down, because I was wearing shorts, are just covered in gouges and scratches from stupid briars. I go around the house and cut down the limbs and stuff that get too close to the house. We have a lot of big bushy things. And so the insurance company told me I needed to make sure that stuff was cleaned out. And so, yeah, whatever the deal is, this year, all of it was full of blackberry bushes. Well, they're not really bushes, they're vines, I guess. Blackberry vines, blackberry whips, I don't know what they're called. Raspberry whips, I don't know what the difference is, honestly. But they're like, oh, the worst. Just nothing but thorns that dig into you and tear. And so, yeah. So me out there with the chainsaw and the trimmer trying to clear all that nonsense out, I am just... It's still a little painful. This is over a day later. And I still have some pretty massive slices that are still sore. But yeah. So that's been my last few days. It's just been busy and a mess. Hopefully this week calms down a little bit. And then I did get to watch some... I can't see through these trees. I did get to watch a few things. I was trying to remember what any of them were called. I watched a dumb movie with Bruce Willis called Breach. It was a sci-fi movie. It was like... It was not great. It was... It was like they picked a bunch of really famous movies and tried to use bits and pieces from those famous movies. What am I missing for gunpowder? Fuel? Yeah, okay. It's not a lot of gunpowder, unfortunately. Weird, I got oil shell. I've got stuff on me from something else, it looks like here. And then, that was called Breach. But yeah, it basically, a colony ship headed to another planet was, uh, infected, I guess, by an alien creature, and said creature could get inside the body of people, um, and then it would just take them over. And its goal was, okay, this is really dumb. Okay, the creature apparently came from New Earth, which is the planet that they were going to. People had already been there. It already had supposedly a colony established, and so that's where they were headed to. The whole show was New Earth. So I don't understand if the creatures came from New Earth, why the creatures were attempting to ram the spaceship at light speed into New Earth. Like, what was their goal? I don't understand. And so, they had to fight it off. It was really dumb because they were like janitors. And so Bruce Willis is like, this is the cleaning solution to use to clean up whatever mess they were doing. But it was like a super acid that would like melt through the ship's metal, and it was supposed to be diluted 1 drop per like gallon of water or something. And so it turned out that was capable. But then they didn't even capable of killing the things. But then they didn't even use it like it would work for real. Instead, they made moonshine out of it at one point. Like it was one of the ingredients in the moonshine. And so they just put the moonshine into flamethrowers and were spraying like blue flames on the horrible CGI bad guys. I'm just like, man, Bruce Willis, your work has fallen. This is a dumb movie. And then they got to the planet, and the planet is overrun with giant monsters of these things already. So I don't even know. It was such a weird movie. And then I watched another one. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it had Jason Momoa in it, and he was like this evil AI on a prison ship that was killing people, and so I never got a clear idea of what exactly was the deal, but there was like this woman, and she wanted to go home early, and so to get out of their I don't know what pink means. Like white. So what's pink? What does that mean? Um so she altered, I guess, their plans to go do this mission to reclaim this ship so that they could get back to Earth earlier. I think that's what they said. And so, anyways, once they got on board, then Jason Momoa AI started trying to kill everybody, and so they all had cyber implants, and um, you couldn't hack into a cyber implant unless the person was under extreme duress, like about to die. It was called a flatline scan. And so what Jason Momoa was the amalgamation of all the prisoners on the ship. Uh, and so what the AI would do is as someone was about to die, it would scan their personality and everything and then load it into itself. So it was supposed to be like this super evil, all the bad guys all at once kind of deal. And oh, I need brass. Uh, I mean, I don't need brass. I need shells, casings. And so, uh, yeah, it was really weird. It was, I don't know, it was bizarre, and like it wasn't good. It was not good at all. Um, None of it really made any sense, and I'm still not sure what half the people were even there for in the show. Like, I don't know what they were trying to get out of things. It was, I don't know. It was a weird one. Uh, and then I watched Barry. Uh, so I talked about how I didn't have time to do anything, but I'm also talking about how I watch all this stuff. That's because the way I work, I have that kind of stuff playing in the background as background noise, and so I have to pay attention to it while I'm working. And so um, I watched through the 3 seasons that were out of Barry. I kind of liked it. I don't think it's amazing, but it wasn't as dumb as I thought it was going to be. Barry is a show about an assassin who um, decides he would rather be an actor, but then can't get out of being an assassin. So just that concept alone right there makes me think this is gonna be dumb. But I actually kind of liked it. They didn't play it off as funny or anything. So that was cool. Not that I'm against things necessarily being funny if they're supposed to be funny. But I probably won't watch it if it's just meant to be silly. I'm sure there's things that I do like that are meant to be silly, but I like my humor more like, have you ever seen Shaun of the Dead? Shaun of the Dead's a pretty funny movie, but it doesn't go out of its way to be a funny movie, or like the first Guardians of the Galaxy, doesn't go out of its way to be silly or anything. Like, it's funny, but it's funny because of who the characters are. It's not funny because they're making jokes. Um, because there's a big difference between I'm doing this because we need funny and this is funny because it's humorous, but it is something the character would do. And so um, Barry was funny, but it also was not funny. It was an interesting look at someone who has emotional problems and relationship problems, and all the people around him who also had similar kinds of problems, while he's also, trying not to get killed. Uh, so I liked it though. Definitely worth checking out. Um, finished finished Rings of Power season 1 today. It's okay. It's super slow, super slow. Almost nothing happens, and it honestly was 8 hour plus long episodes, and all that really occurred over 8 hour plus long episodes was the dwarves found Mithril, the elves got a piece of it, uh, Mount Doom was created by opening a sluice gate and letting water into an underground magma chamber. Um, Humans came to fight the orcs and got defeated by the creation of Mount Doom and went home. And then the elves made 3 rings of power. It wasn't 8 hour plus long episodes worth of content, but there's a lot of slow shots, a lot of panning across terrain and environment shots. Um, those panorama 360. They weren't full 360, but they'd like spin around people in slow motion, and like people would run to hug each other, and there'd just be this like minute long scene of people just standing there hugging each other. Like, okay, we can move it along, guys. Uh, but yeah, it's okay, but it's not amazing for sure. It looks nice, but the storyline isn't moving very fast. And then the other one we watched today was we finished She-Hulk. That was okay. Got a little dumb in the last couple of episodes. I definitely like the beginning of the season better than the end of the season. Although I like seeing Daredevil. I'm glad he made it back in the MCU. And then uh, we're watching Andor, and I really hate this thing that they've been doing lately. I I don't have a problem with subtitles in my movie at all. I will watch a subtitled movie. It doesn't matter to me. Uh, so I don't understand this new thing where they have people speak in another language than English, um, and then they don't put subtitles down for it. Like, what's the point? If I were gonna watch a I don't know, let's say a French movie, that didn't have subtitles, that would be on me. Um, that would be on me. I couldn't understand a single thing they said because I don't really know any French, and so I can understand. However, if I'm gonna watch a foreign film, chances are it's gonna be subtitled in English. That way, I know what they're trying to say. So, explain to me why Andor has whole scenes. Andor's the new Star Wars series. Whole scenes with these kids speaking of alien dialect and no subtitles. I don't need to hear them make noise if they're not going to do anything that I can understand. A bunch of kids standing around chit-chatting with each other around a fire and then pointing at a crashing ship while continuing to chit-chat and chit-chat and chit-chat, but none of it's in a language that anyone in the world except the people who wrote the script might understand is useless. It's useless. Uh, the whole rest of the film is in English, or the series is in English. You didn't write it in some imperial dialect that doesn't exist. So why does that part? And I don't have a problem with them speaking an alien language. I just wish it was subtitles so I could be in on what they're saying. But I noticed that sometimes they'll do. I'll be watching a movie, and then part of the movie will be in a foreign country, and they'll speak whatever language it is for that country, foreign to me, and right, because I'm in the U.S., and so they'll be in Mexico, and then there'll be like whole scenes where they're speaking in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. The rest of the movie is in English. The movie is an American movie. I get why they're in Mexico for whatever particular scene. I'm fine with the people from Mexico speaking in Spanish. That's fine to me. However, it'd be nice if I could understand what they were saying. What am I supposed to do? Track down a translator? It just doesn't make any sense to me that you can't put in subtitles. Because it's really bizarre because we watch the shows with subtitles. And so the kids are just chatting away in their foreign language or their alien language that isn't a real language. And then noises will occur. And the noises get subtitles, but not the alien dialect that they're talking about. I don't know. That show also seems very slow and nothing has really happened in the 3 episodes we watched. So I don't know what it is with all these shows being so slow. I like a good story with a build up, but you at least need to be progressing in a direction. And a lot of these shows just seem really, really long, and they don't progress in any direction. But hey, all right. With that, be better than small things, lean to the light, and I will talk to you later.